Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over this 2021 Toyota Tacoma SR5. But I'd like to give special thanks to South Dade Toyota for providing me with this 2021 Tacoma SR5. If you're in the market for a Tacoma SR5, you can come to South Dade Toyota and ask for Wilford. He'll get you into a new, used, or pre-owned vehicle. But let's get into the review here of the Tacoma SR5. But let's start off underneath the hood here. Once you open up the hood, it reveals this 3.5 liter V6, and this hood is heavy. This makes 278 horsepower, 265 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission, and as the Tacoma sits, it weighs 4,060 pounds. You can tow 6,400 pounds with a payload of 1,100 pounds. Fuel economy is rated at 19 in the city, 24 on the highway, and 21 combined. I feel like the 6-speed automatic transmission is holding the fuel economy back, but it does get decent fuel economy. Maybe they put an 8-speed in here. But overall, let's look at the front fascia here of the Tacoma SR5. Shutting the hood back. Like I mentioned, the hood is pretty heavy. Looking at this exterior styling, I think the Tacoma is a handsome mid-size pickup truck here. Looking at these headlights, are going to be a halogen projector bulb with an automatic low and high beam with an incandescent turn signal with these halogen fog lights here. If you go for a top Tacoma trim level, a Toyota will throw in full LED headlights. I like the black trim here in the front fascia. Looking at the Toyota emblem there, that does house the dynamic radar cruise control, so it will stop and go for you in rush hour traffic. And underneath the bumper here is going to be a tow hook, so if you were to get stuck somewhere, someone can pull you out. But overall, I want you guys to comment down below in the comment section, what do you think about the Tacoma's exterior styling? But let's look at the side profile of the Toyota Tacoma SR5. So looking at the side profile here of the Toyota Tacoma SR5, starting with these tires and wheels, these are a 245/75 tire. They're wrapped in a 16-inch rim design. I like the matte black with the multi-spoke finish here. It looks really good here with this silver exterior color. Looking here, there's no LED sight marker here on the mirror cap, and Toyota does not even offer a standard sunroof here on the SR5 trim. You may have to go for a top trim level in order to get that sunroof. Looking here, there's the Tacoma name, which is spelled out here on the side door panel. And Toyota does throw on these running boards here to get into this mid-size truck. There's this SR5 badge here on the rear door. The wheelbase for the Tacoma is at 127.4 inches with an overall length of 212.3, and this does have a 5-foot bed. If you go for a different version of the Tacoma, Toyota will throw in a 6-foot bed. So if you want to have more bed length, you have to look at another model. But let's take a look at the rear of the Tacoma SR5. So looking at the rear here of the Toyota Tacoma SR5, looking at these tail lights, are going to be an incandescent design from the turn signal, reverse light, and brake light. Looking at the lower part of the bumper here, it's going to be the 7 and 4 pin connector with incandescent lighting for the tag, and your tow hitch receiver is going to be there. Toyota says you can tow 6,400 pounds. I like that they have the Tacoma name stamped into the tailgate here. There's a standard backup camera with your Toyota name spelled out there. There's this V6 badge. Open up the tailgate here is going to be a damp tailgate. It does have this composite bed, and Toyota says you have a maximum payload here on this SR5 at 1,100 pounds. And over here on this side of the bed, Toyota does throw in this compartment storage here, so just in case you want to hide some dirty clothes and whatnot, you can definitely do so. And the tailgate is a little heavy when you're trying to lift it back up, but if you want a bigger bed, Toyota will give you a 6-foot bed instead of this 5-foot bed. So sitting inside the interior here of the Toyota Tacoma SR5, looking at this interior here, this is my first time filming a Tacoma here on the channel. I like the red that splashed out this interior here, but the Tacoma does have a nice interior here on the SR5. This is one notch above the SR trim, which is base. But to start up the Tacoma, first let's shut the door here. Of course, foot on the brake and stick the key inside the ignition here. There's no push button start. And maybe if you go for a top trim of the Tacoma, Toyota might offer a push button start. I'm not too sure, but if you guys know, just leave it down in the comment section down below. Looking at the materials here on the SR5, it's gonna be hard touch plastic, but I do like this red that splashed out this interior. It is this soft touch material here. This is black painted door handle. Your window controls are here. It is automatic down, but not automatic up for the driver window. You can lock the windows from here. There's your lock controls. You can adjust the mirrors. Over here is going to be for the stability control, the cargo light in the bed. You can switch it on or off. There's an automatic low and high beam. Over here is for the turn signal stock and headlight stock, and your wind wiper stock is here. The steering wheel here is going to be off the 4Runner, the Sequoia, and the Toyota Tundra. Looking here at the steering wheel controls, you can cycle through this 4.2-inch display here. It does show you your driver support, which shows you forward collision warning with lane departure. Switching over to the right here, it's a blank page. That's your driver support. Once you have your phone connected, it does display the messages there. You can swipe up and down through the driver support. It does show you stuff like your tire pressure. If you don't like full LCD display screens, Toyota keeps it really simple here. With the Tacoma, they give you this 4.2-inch tailpipe screen with the analog gauges for the RPM and also for the speed. There's some more controls here on the steering wheel for the forward collision warning, lane departure. There's this old Toyota cruise control stock here. This thing will stop and go for you. There's your volume controls here, your voice command controls. You can answer and hang up the phone from this button here. I like that it's leather at the top and at the bottom here of the steering wheel. I like this soft touch material just like on the door panels. Looking at the upper part of the dashboard, it's going to be a hard touch plastic. If you go for a top Tacoma trim level, Toyota might give this a leather dashboard or soft touch ejection molded plastic. I like the silver painted trim here. This is an 8-inch display. This does offer Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The touch response is really responsive here on the screen. Going here to the Google Maps, it takes up the complete screen, but there is some buttons here for home, menu, audio, map, also sync, track, phone, and apps. There's these knobs here for the volume and tuning. Down here, this does have dual climate controls. The other competitors does not offer that. You have to go for a top trim in order to get the dual climate control. This trim level here is above the base SR. Like I mentioned, this does offer dual climate control. So like I mentioned, some of the other competitors, you have to go for a top trim level to get the dual climate control. There's this rear defogger there, your hazard switch. Over here is going to be for that rear sliding glass to let some air into this cabin. You can open and close that if you would like. If you go for the SR trim, you have to manually open it, but there's this USB port there. Like I mentioned, this does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. My iPhone 12 Pro Max does fit, but as you guys can see, the USB cord is kind of bent because, of course, it wouldn't really fit with the cord connected. And Toyota does not offer Apple CarPlay or Android Auto as wireless, not at this moment. But there's a 12 volt here. Putting the Tacoma into reverse, of course, foot on the brake. Put it into reverse here. You guys can see this does have distance markers but no trajectory. Kick it over here to the left. There's a sport mode in the transmission. This does have that 6-speed automatic transmission. Putting it back into park. There's this little storage compartment here. Cup holder there. 2 more cup holders over here. So there's 3 cup holders in total in the center console here. There's this traditional handbrake here. The center console here is going to be nice and padded. It does offer a decent amount of storage. There's also a 12 volt with the USB-C in there. So Toyota is giving this thing some modern tech. Looking at the seats here, they're comfortable, they're supportive. I like that they're cloth. I like the red stitching here. Looking at the glove compartment, it does offer a good amount of storage. But looking up here, there's a sunglass holder, there's this SOS button. And I'm surprised to see that there's actually LED lights throughout this cabin here. I'm really surprised to see that Toyota has LED lights here on the SR5. I thought it was gonna be an incandescent lighting, but overall I'm really impressed with this Tacoma's interior. But let's hop into the back seat of the Tacoma. So get into the back seat here of the Toyota Tacoma. Lifting up the floor here, Toyota does give you these little compartments here to basically hide your tools or hide some stuff, just in case you want your passengers or somewhere else to find them. You can lock it and put some stuff in here. But getting back here, Toyota does throw these running boards in, and I'm really surprised to see that there's an actual grab handle here to get into the back seat here. But getting back here and shutting the door, Toyota says you get 32.6 inches of legroom. This is where I have the seat to drive. I'm only 5'8", and I do have a decent amount of headroom in here. There's gonna be 1 map pocket back here for storage. There is 2 cup holders, and you can fit a middle passenger here in the middle seat. But Toyota does not offer an armrest. But this truck does feel a little cramped, but it's just like every other truck in the segment, which is basically small. So to start off here in the 2021 Tacoma SR5, where I go do my filming at here at this park. It's been raining, like last night it started raining here in Miami. So I'm show you guys a little bit of what the Tacoma can handle. And this is what you guys buy this truck for. You buy this truck to go off-road and basically splash around in the mud like a pig. And honestly, this is really fun. And the suspension in this truck is amazing. Like right now, I'm just like going in the mud here, and The truck is just going up and down. It's just so smooth. But this has Toyota's 3.5 liter V6. It makes 278 horsepower. Compared to that 6-speed automatic transmission. Maybe if Toyota puts an 8-speed in here, it might get better fuel economy. Fuel economy is rated at 19 in the city, 24 on the highway, and 21 combined, which is not bad fuel economy, personally speaking, for this mid-sized truck. And you can tow 6,400 pounds with a payload of 1,100 pounds. So really good numbers with the towing and payload figures. Like I mentioned, this has Toyota's 3.5 liter V6. It sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. With this being the 6-speed automatic, it's somewhat responsive, but not necessarily. It's time for Toyota to basically up the gears, maybe give it an 8-speed automatic like I mentioned. But the 6-speed is somewhat responsive in a sense. You have great visibility out of this mid-sized truck here. This does have Toyota Safety Sense, which includes forward collision warning. There's no blind spot monitoring on this truck, but there is a forward collision warning with lane departure. But the seating in here is really good. I don't feel like I'm sitting on the floor, but I do feel like I'm sitting on a seat instead of on the floor. A lot of people complain about that I've seen in reviews. They say that they feel like they're sitting on the floor instead of in the seat. But me personally speaking, I actually feel like I'm sitting in the seat of the Tacoma, excuse me. I like that Toyota does throw in this 8-inch display here that's connected with the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It does not have the wireless feature. That maybe in the next generation of Tacoma they might offer that, or they could probably do a software update. But this truck has a soft suspension. There's no road noise in here. This rides on 16-inch wheels here. It's really quiet. I don't hear no cars from outside. I don't hear no planes. I don't hear nothing. This cabin is extremely quiet. Like I mentioned, this is a mid-sized truck, so you get around 32.6 inches of legroom in the rear back there. So if you had passengers that are a little bigger, it might feel cramped back there. But every pickup truck in the segment is cramped, regardless, from the Jeep Gladiator to the Chevy Colorado to the Ford Ranger. Basically, all these trucks in the segment feel cramped. But honestly, I don't have any problems with the Tacoma here. This truck drives extremely well. The steering is responsive, but it's slow. But that's not the mission here for this Tacoma. You're gonna basically have this thing to be reliable. It's gonna have durability as well. I like this interior here. It does have the cloth seats. The cloth seats are gonna last for a very long time. But foot to the floor. Oof. Like I mentioned, that 6-speed, it will wake up when it wants to. But the 3.5 liter V6 does sound pretty good. Like I mentioned, it offers 278 horsepower. And honestly, I did like going into the little craters and splashing around in the mud a little bit. So if you guys are looking to take this truck off-road, it can definitely handle that. If you want a serious, really off-road truck, you have to check out the Tacoma TRD that offers a skid plate, Fox suspension, so offers different components compared to the SR5 here. But this interior looks really nice, as there is some hard touch plastic materials in here. Like I mentioned, this is one step above the SR trim, which is basically base. If you guys hear what that beeping is, that's for the lane departure. If you don't signal, it's gonna basically beep. So this is not none of the newest Toyota driver's assistance, which is the 2.5 plus. Maybe when they refresh the Tacoma, who knows when Toyota might do that. They're most likely going to offer that 2.5 plus system, because all the other cars in the lineup, majority of them have the 2.5 plus system. Honestly, you can't go wrong with the Tacoma. It's going to be damn reliable. It's going to have really good durability because it's a Toyota, and the resale value is going to be really good because this truck is known for holding its value. So if you guys are looking to purchase a Tacoma, honestly, I think the SR5 is not a bad trim if you don't want to spend over $50,000. So after spending time with the Tacoma SR5, starting price is at $33,330. With the accessories and the options, the Tacoma stickers for $40,141. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this review, and also make sure you follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews, and I catch you all in the next video.